Huizenga is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Sorry to my colleague. I guffawed when he said he wasn't trying to lecture you. It sounded like a lecture. And I don't know about the manufacturing base in Rhode Island, but I can tell you the manufacturing base in Michigan, at worst, has been mixed, and most economists there will tell you it's been an improvement for manufacturing in Michigan. Mr. Helberg, I do want to note that I'm going to focus on some of the technology, but I am pleased to see and to hear that you are talking about places like the Panama Canal, about the Luzon corridor in the Philippines. I've spent an extensive amount of time in the Philippines. I think that, frankly, is one of those areas of the world that has been not focused on enough, and the influence of what has happened because of China and what they've been doing. I want to talk a little bit about your tweet yesterday that you had put out, and you had talked a little bit about G42 in your opening statement. I too have been long concerned with the security of America's crown jewels, technology deployed, and how it's being deployed worldwide, especially in countries like UAE with historic ties to the Communist Party. That's why I'm encouraged, like you were in your tweet, about the assurance compute framework unveiled by the UAE-based AI company G42 as part of this Pax Silica. Could you tell us a little bit, just unpack very quickly, because I want to get to another issue, about the importance of creating safeguards so the U.S. technology doesn't fall into the hands of the Chinese Communist Party?
Absolutely, Congressman, and thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to weigh in on this. So, as you know, the BIS rule that was rolled out in January requires exporters to meet very strict conditions, including U.S. third-party testing, know your customer procedures, and physical security certifications, and screening of all remote access users. The reason that the G42 announcement yesterday is significant is because it actually sets a pilot for a potential model on a voluntary basis for a large company to use cryptographic tracking as well as end user verifications to track every single token on G42's AI cluster. They agreed to build a common operating picture that could allow American policymakers to actually have total transparency and assurance that the clusters in the UAE used and owned by G42 are not being accessed improperly by individuals and entities that would go against American export control rules. So it's a voluntary framework. It's incredibly, it's an incredibly positive step forward.
I agree. That's why, frankly, I'm sponsoring the Chip Security Act, which would ensure that our AI chips can't be smuggled into places like China. Supply chain resilience is a key to dominating the global economy. China understands this. They're exploiting every avenue that they can to gain an advantage over the United States and the West writ large. I was pleased to see the rollout of Pax Silica, which seeks to secure the supply chain of the entire AI stack by working closely with partners and allies to protect this future-defining technology. I also want to note that I applaud the addition of India to that. They are a very, well, it rightly acknowledges their geostrategic place and significance in the development of AI. Can you provide insight into how Pax Silica interacts with other multilateral forums such as the G7, the Quad, and AUKUS, and where do you see opportunities to expand interagency cooperation?
Thank you for the question, Congressman. So the interesting aspect about Pax Silica is that it's a grouping of countries that is unique and different from the G20, the G7, as well as other pre-existing groupings that the US had been a part of. It is a grouping tailored for the AI economy. So it includes countries that actually have unique and differentiated capabilities that make significant contributions to different layers of the AI supply chain. India is probably the only country in the world that rivals China in terms of the depth of its human capital and talent. It's also the world's third largest mineral refiner, even though it currently accounts for only 1% of global market share. Obviously, South Korea and Japan are home to incredibly advanced high bandwidth memory companies, as well as semiconductor manufacturing companies. The Pax Silica includes countries like I2U2 and the Quad. So it actually is more comprehensive. And one of the beneficial aspects about it is we have intentionally kept it flexible. So it is a multilateral grouping. It's a platform where we can do plurilateral work. Not everything has to include all 11 countries. So we're using the platform to engage countries on a bilateral basis as well as a plurilateral basis to partner with each other, as well as to partner with each other in third markets, including in places like Africa, which is obviously the main home of the vast majority of where the world's minerals currently come from.
I just returned from Nigeria not that long ago. They're very interested in these types of things. So my time has expired, but I appreciate you being here today and giving you an opportunity to actually speak. So
Thank you.
with that, I yield back, Mr.